Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I run the blog lifefromtheviola.com. And lately I have been testing out ChatGPT, which is an AI website where you can generate scripts. You can use it to basically like fill out your spreadsheets, so many different things. So I've been testing it as a musician, seeing if it can help us practice, because tech and practicing are two things that I really love in addition to music. So continuing on the video that I posted last week where I asked ChatGPT to give me a practice plan, a couple suggestions for repertoire and etudes, and even little technical exercises, I've decided to go more in depth today in this part 2. So if you missed part 1 and you would like to see what ChatGPT gave me initially, check that out. I will have it linked above and in the description box below. But today we're going to ask it to create more in-depth practice plans. So one for a beginner violist and one for an advanced violist. And we're also going to ask it to create very specific exercises. So let's dive in first with a practice plan for beginner violists. Okay, so I don't know if this is taking into account anything that I've said before, but it is very into spiccato. I know that it's a technique that a lot of musicians struggle with and spend a lot of time working on, but I'm interested that it comes up in here so much. I do like this one: warm up, posture and positioning, basic bowing techniques, left hand technique, sight reading, repertoire. Spiccato is kind of odd, and then cool down. Spiccato should really just be up there with basic bowing techniques. I mean, it's more than basic, but just, you know, actually focusing just on bowing techniques, spiccato should probably be there. But I do like all of these things for beginners. This one does not have any timing suggestions, which I think I kind of like. But it could be potentially helpful to have. It does not look like it's giving any bad advice right now. Everything is pretty spot on. I mean, it's not super in depth. Like it says, you know, choose a simple piece of repertoire to work on. Focus on mastering basic bow techniques. It gives you some suggestions of how to practice, but it doesn't give you specific exercises to work on, which, like, that's fine. I just asked for a practice plan. I didn't ask for exercises. Now let's ask for a beginner exercise. Simple finger exercises. So on the viola, this would specifically have to be in third position, which I don't know if we should categorize shifting with beginners. I mean, it's probably like a late beginner skill, I would say. Late beginner to early intermediate. So it's a little odd, but if they had said start on the G string with your first finger on the first note A, and then B, C, and D, that would be great. But it's odd that this is in third position. If you were a beginner and you notice these things, you could think, oh, well, I can just do that in first position, but on different notes. Then that would be a great exercise. This is also a nice exercise in third position. It's really just stepping up and stepping down. And you should be focusing on good intonation, relaxed hand and fingers, and gradually increase. And yes, it will help develop finger strength, dexterity, and intonation. But some of the little details are just off, which seems to be a big theme right here. Now let's have it generate a practice plan for advanced violists. there's spiccato again. Okay, this is a pretty solid answer, I think. One thing that's a little bit odd is it says you can also play some scales or arpeggios to get your fingers moving. Okay, that's fine. And then it has scale and arpeggio practice later. I personally like to do scales and arpeggios first, and then I work on the more advanced technical exercises like double stops, left hand, pizzicato, and harmonics after the scales and arpeggios before etudes. But I think that this is really good. Again, there are no advanced details that could be missing or could be wrong. The things that it said it got right. Again, there's this big emphasis on spiccato. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but otherwise I really like this. And again, this one does not have timed suggestions. So now that we have an advanced viola practice plan, let's have it generate more advanced exercises for us. Let's take a look, technical exercises. Okay, let's choose left hand pizzicato. Let's say write out a left hand pizzicato exercise for viola. So here's what they suggest. Start by placing your left hand fingers in the correct position to play a C note on the A string, second finger, and an E note on the D string, first finger. All right, that is accurate. Pluck the C note on the A string with your left hand thumb, while simultaneously plucking the E note on the D string with your left hand first finger. There's absolutely no way that I could pluck this with my left hand thumb. Let me get a video up and going for you. Here I am, second finger C on the A string, first finger E on the D string, thumb. Absolutely no way. I would assume that it would want you to do this and then transfer it down here. Let's keep reading because that'll be important. Release your left hand thumb and let your first finger bounce back to its original position, producing a second pizzicato note on the D string. This makes no sense to me. Repeat steps 2 and 3, alternating between the C and E notes on each string. Am I just supposed to go between the strings with my first and second fingers? I really don't know. Well, let's just read the last paragraph. As you get comfortable with this exercise, you can try playing it in different keys and positions on the viola. That's fine. You can also experiment with different rhythms and speeds to develop your left-hand pizzicato technique. That's all great. Keep in mind that left-hand pizzicato requires precise timing and control, so be patient and keep practicing it until you achieve a clear and consistent sound. That paragraph is great. It is all entirely accurate. Now let's see if it can write out musical notation. Let's just ask it if it can. Can you write out musical notation? Okay. Can you notate a C5 in alto clef? In the above notation, the note head is on the third line of the staff, which is the position of C5 in alto clef. Okay, yes, this wording makes sense. I don't know what this is supposed to look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 lines and 4 spaces here, so I'm thinking that this could be a staff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's this weird dash here. I'm not sure. Okay, let's just try something different. Can you notate a G5 in treble clef? above notation, the note head is on the second line of the staff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is the position of G5. This notation makes no sense to me. If this makes any kind of sense to you, please leave a comment down below and explain it to me, because I would love to know. I have an open mind. I would love to learn. So, musical notation seems to be a bust, at least for me and my brain. But let's have it do one more exercise for us today. Create an exercise focusing on artificial harmonics on viola. Start by playing an open A string, then place your fourth finger lightly on the string 2 octaves above the open A. With your left hand thumb, lightly touch the string at the harmonic note located exactly halfway between the fourth finger and the bridge. Pluck the string with your right hand index finger, making sure to touch the string only very lightly just above the harmonic note. Adjust the pressure of your thumb until you hear the harmonic overtone, in this case a high A. Hold the harmonic overtone as long as possible before releasing it and returning to the starting position. Repeat, and Okay, let's try this together. Start by playing an open A string, then place your fourth finger lightly on the string 2 octaves above the open. Okay, here it is. It told me later to pluck, so that's why I don't have my bow. With your left hand thumb, lightly touch the string of the harmonic note, located exactly halfway between the fourth finger and the bridge. What? Please let me know if I'm just being dumb and reading this completely wrong, because it makes no sense to me. With your left, okay, start by playing an open A. I'll use my bow so that we can hear everything better. All right, open A. Then place your fourth finger lightly on the string 2 octaves above. Okay, so that is 2 octaves above. With your left hand thumb, this guy, lightly touch the string at the harmonic node, located exactly halfway between the fourth finger and the bridge. I would think that if they're talking about left hand, they would want me to put it on the other octave. But I'm not sure. Pluck the string with your right hand index finger, making sure to touch the string only very lightly just above the harmonic node. Okay, so maybe this is supposed to say with your right hand thumb, lightly touch the string at the harmonic node located exactly between the fourth finger, halfway between these two. What if I move it? Okay, yeah, I don't get as good of a sound. Adjust the pressure of your thumb. Oh, right, okay. No, but then later it says pluck the string with your right hand index finger. Adjust the pressure of your thumb until you hear the harmonic overtone. So, like this. Like adjusting the pressure on the string, I guess. Hold the harmonic overtone as low. You can't really hold anything, though, if you're plucking the string. But you can if you're using the bow. And if you release, it'll ring for a little bit. I don't know. As you get comfortable with this exercise, try playing the harmonic overtone on different strings and in different positions on the viola. So this is very, very broad. And if I were new to harmonics, first of all, I'd be really, really confused about this. And second of all, I wouldn't know where to find other harmonics on the viola just by it saying different positions. Let's read on though. You can also experiment with different fingerings and bowings to create different sounds and effects with the artificial harmonics. Okay, also, artificial harmonics should technically be where we press a note and then we lightly press our finger a fourth above it, like this. It's better on the lower strings on viola. We can do it on open strings just with third finger. Oh, these strings are really bad. I need to change them. So those are artificial harmonics, and then these are natural harmonics, where we don't need to press any fingers fully, we just lightly. Anyway, let's finish reading this. Remember to always touch the string very lightly with your left hand and use a clean, precise plucking motion with your right hand to produce a clear and resonant harmonic tone. So I'll do this on a natural harmonic. Yeah, it can ring if it's a harmonic. Some have a more pure tone when you're plucking them. I'm not sure why. I don't completely understand the physics of it. So you do have to be very careful when you're plucking to find the right amount of pressure and get exactly the right motion that you need to get the exact sound that you want. So these last two exercises that it created were definitely problematic. Oof, that's awkward. Okay, now that we have experimented with ChatGPT long enough, at least for today, in my opinion, let's talk about what it does well and what it does not do very well. So it seems to be very good at giving not generic, but very basic advice. I'm not sure, because I'm not an expert, I'm not sure where this AI website draws its database of knowledge from. I don't know if it's a lot of blog posts or if it's places like the Oxford Dictionary of Music, or if it's all of the above, anything goes. I'll do a little bit of research before I edit and post this video, and I'll let you know right here if I can find an answer easily. But the answers that get it right are ones that very much feel like a blog post that I would find if I were to just Google practice plan for beginner violist. I would find a lot of that advice and a lot of those phrases. Like if I were to write an article, I would definitely be including those things and saying those things. I would probably include like a little bit more information, but that's because I'm writing like a full-length blog post and not just an answer to a question. So those generic, right off the bat responses seem to be really strong and solid. There is not much incorrect information in there. But then where it struggles is when you ask it more specific, in-depth questions, like creating an exercise. It seems like what it does wrong is it will use a wrong word here or there, like left hand instead of right hand or thumb instead of index finger. And that completely changes the trajectory of the exercise because we have 10 fingers and we use them all very differently on string instruments, and any instrument too, no matter what instrumental family it's part of. You use your fingers in different ways, and if they say the wrong one, you're going to do something completely different. And I run into this when I teach too. I'll say the wrong hand name or I'll say the wrong finger number, and my students get so confused because it's very important. They all have different jobs. So ChatGPT is not always getting those minute details correct. And that really, really hurts the exercises or the very in-depth answers because it makes all of it feel very surface level and incorrect. There are also just small terminologies that aren't quite right, or just things that I would like it to clarify more for it to make sense. And you can see that in those exercises that I just tried. Some of it is just so confusing. So if there's anything that you understood that I did not get in today's video, please let me know. Please not in a condescending way, but just like some of that coding and just the formatting of the musical notation made absolutely no sense to me. So if you can teach it to me, please, that would be so appreciated. But it's really odd. I would love for ChatGPT to incorporate a music writing software, at least something very, very basic, or if it could even generate an image or a link to an image that you could click on and then see, oh, that's the musical notation. Since I put in just one specific note at a time, it could easily pull up a picture, or, you know, you would think, at least if you Googled C5 in alto clef, you could probably just find an image right there in the Google search. So it seems like a feature that would be easy to add in. I don't know, I don't create software like this. But those are my thoughts right now. Let me know if you've tried out ChatGPT for anything musical or otherwise. I'm always interested. And if you know of any other AI software that I should try as a musician, please let me know because I would love to test out more things and make videos on them. I'm planning to take a break next Sunday, but I will see you again in 2 weeks with another musical video, Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Thanks for watching.